Oh You Thought Podcast, the place where you get a heavy dose of positivity, sarcasm, knowledge, and ratchetness. Enjoy the show. It's that time. It's time for another installment of Oh You Thought Podcast. It's your girl, Fallon, coming to you from Houston, Texas. This is episode 42. We're almost getting ready to come into that year mark where I officially started my podcast in April of last year. So I'm definitely excited for this episode. It's going to be a lot of good things that I want to talk about. I have one long rant that I want to talk about in the Oh You Thought segment of the show. So I'm definitely ready to jump into that and give my whole dollar worth of rebuttal on a certain topic that I'm so sick of. Topic and stigma, whatever you want to call it. So just wait on that. So like I said, this is episode 42. I didn't have a song that I wanted to play in the intro. I don't have a freestyle, but I promise you this year you will get more freestyles than I did last year because that was the premise of my show as far as the intro. So I'll get back there. There again, I want to say thank you to all of the subscribers, the listeners, and people that hit me up and stuff about the podcast. Thank you. Top 5 SoundCloud cities that I want to give a special shout out to. Number 1, Kansas City, y'all moved back up. Number 2, London, y'all fell. Number 3, Chicago. Number 4, I hope I'm saying the city right, Aliso Viejo, that's in California. And number 5, San Francisco. So this week actually felt like a long month. I don't know what it was about this week. I don't know who messed with the alignment of the world, but it just felt like collectively a lot of people were having a crappy week. And a lot of my crappiness, it stemmed at work. And I still like my job. I really, really like my job and stuff, but it's just chaotic with some changes that we're making in our department. And it just felt like nothing was going right this week. So that, definitely glad the work week is over so I can just chill and relax this weekend, recharge, and get ready for another week. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast or not, but my job is basically forcing me to face one of my major fears. This is like my top fear that I have, and I have a lot of them, y'all. So stay with it. And my number 1 fear is flying. And if you know me, I'm afraid of a lot of things, and a lot of my fear stems around not being able to have total control. And so flying is like the ultimate thing where you have zero control. I'm not the pilot, and I can't control anything that happens while I'm sitting on a plane. And so I don't know, it's just like I go OCD with how I get through my fears or think about my fears. And I'm just thinking, of course, you know, you learn about the dynamics of how a plane stays in the air. But for me, it's just like, wow, like, it's just like, how does it stay in the air? The same question I have about these big, like, you know, yachts and stuff and cruise ships and stuff. How does something so massive and heavy just glide on the water like that? And so that's where part of my fears come with, like, flying and stuff. And so work is requiring me to take 2 flights in March. I'm going to Dallas for the first one, which is, I live in Houston, so it's like 40 minutes. So I do that one. And then after that, I have to take a 3-hour flight to Vegas, and I am terrified. Whatever. Everyone thinks it's funny, but whatever. I have real fears, and I'm just terrified of how I'm going to react when I get on these planes. And on the flip side, on the positive side, I'm telling myself, if I handle the flying like really, really well, then I want to plan like a trip to like different places that I've always wanted to go. And the first place on that bucket list is Miami because it's so beautiful. And then, of course, everyone wants to go to California. So I would like to fly to Cali and see how many famous people I can see and just stuff like that. So if I can just get through this, like, I want to live more and do more things. And so things that I prayed for as far as like a job that I love, where people are just like, well, you should just worry about making money. No, I keep saying that you can find a job that you love. And I don't want to speak too fast, but I really do like this job. So God has blessed me with that. God has blessed me to get to the money that I was trying to get to at the other job. He's blessed me in that. And he's just putting things in my path that I've been praying about, or things that I just need to just do to just live. Because I constantly pray about just wanting to just do more and feel like I'm living, and being 36 and just feeling like you haven't experienced everything. I want to experience everything before I leave this earth. If God says the same. And it's just, I have like a new mentality on certain things, like even like my love life and everything like that. Like I just really don't give a fuck if I can just be open and honest and just blatant with it. Like it's just like, I think my one major long-term relationship of off and onness or whatever that I had, it really like just kind of broke me last year. To just know that it's finally finalized and it's just done on my regards. It's just done. And, I thought that I would just be like, oh my gosh, like, I just really just still want to be with him. And it's just not that feeling. Like, it's just different. And I joke a lot online about being single all 2018 or whatever. But I really do. And I pray about this. Like, I want to be blessed to find a love that I've never imagined or never thought possible by another man that God wants me to be with. And that's what I want for my life. So yeah, they're all jokes about being single 2018 and all that stuff. But in reality, I want to be complete with someone and all that stuff. And so I think I'm just living with no pressure. I don't care if people talk about me. I just really don't care about anything. I just care about being consistently happy. And that's a great feeling. So, yeah, so that's what's been up in my life. So let's go ahead and jump right on in so I can just drag the world collectively. Oh, you thought. This moment, it centers around the idea that people aren't allowed to grow. And when I say you, it's everyone that feels like this. You get to keep bringing up their past. Like you have the final say on their life. Like that mentality, it has to go. And so let me go to my phone. And this is the thing that sparked this. And I was just so mad because it's just like, at first, like, I saw that everyone was dragging Raven-Symoné, but I'm targeting it to everyone, including Raven-Symoné, that was applauding her for posting this and applauding the original poster and saying, well, where's the lie? This is true. And you know what? Like, it's not the truth, because every man in this photo, and if you saw this photo going around last week, you should know these men are in a different space in their life. Some of them may still rap about drugs or whatever. Some may still be, talk down on women and all of this. But for the most part, these men have grown. They do stuff for their communities. Most of these people are in stable relationships. And I'm tired of the narrative that hip hop gets, that they're the only one degrading women. people degrade women collectively. They're just not rappers. And so before I just get on my full drag, let me just read the post that sparked all the anger for me. And, the first line of the post was just so shady. And it's just like, let me just read it. A group of so-called successful black men, minus Khaled, racially, who became rich and famous for perpetrating the worst black stereotypes to the ears and eyes of the whole planet, like drug dealing, pimping, murdering other black men, and disrespecting black women. I know, making observations is being a hater. Cheers. Now, some of the men in the photo we have: Swiss Beats, T.I., Diddy, Jay-Z, Big Sean, Jim Jones. Who else is in here that I can see? Like, these are all successful businessmen. Handful of them, they make the Forbes list every single year. So they have businesses, first of all. And for you to say so-called successful, Google every single man in this picture. They are successful. That is what success looks like, because a lot of these men came from nothing and worked to get to something. And for people to step on that alone drives me crazy, but stay with it. And you don't see these men getting arrested currently or anything like that. You see a lot of these men stepping up to the plate when things happen in our country, like hurricane disasters and whatever else happens in this country. They're stepping up, raising money, doing things like that. And I want to pinpoint personally, because this is my all-time favorite rapper, Jay-Z. And number one, like, if that was his life and that's what he lived or that's what he saw, how can you criticize the music that he put out when he's telling a story? That is the idea of rap. Rap is melodically telling a story through song and verse. And to try to censor that or lessen that or put a stigma on rap music is crazy. And especially coming from our own people, those that are co-signing this and stuff. These are the same people that when Money Cash Hoes used to come on, you the first one on the dance floor, or you the first one quoting all the words. And current body of work that all these men have, you out there buying it, you out there streaming it, or you out here getting it for free, not supporting their craft and their work, listening to it, putting quotes on your Instagram, your Snapchat, your Facebook of their lyrics, but you want to be holier than thou when this post is posted, and you want to be like, this is the truth. Where are the lies? And I have a problem with that, because music is an art form where you are able to express yourself. And for us to keep acting like hip hop is the only form of music where they talk about women, they talk about pimps and hoes, and whatever else you think is negative to you, is unfair and it needs to stop. Rock and roll does it, country music does it, R&B music does it, but because certain people have stereotypes because of the way they look or their skin color, you want to put all these people in a box. And biggest point to take away from this was at a positive event. They weren't celebrating drug use and all this stuff. And a lot of these people also that were probably agreeing with this are the younger generations that listen to music where they talk about doing drugs and all this stuff. It's the same type of music going around, just a different way of telling the story. And so stop being a hater, because that's what you being. Raven Simone and all the people that agree with this. People are allowed to change. And this is the same mentality that I talked about, I believe, last week, when people get out of jail or prison and they have this mark on their record for the rest of their lives, some of them. And they're never allowed to grow as far as getting a great job, no matter the education they have on their record or live in a certain neighborhood, and it puts you in that same circle because you have people telling you you can't do this because you have this on your record. This is the same thing with this post. You're telling people they can't do a certain thing or be a certain type of person because they rap about selling drugs or they rap about hoes and stuff like this. And you know what, like, it's just a big problem as far as when people want to act like they all holy, to just put it just in a simple form, because you got females out here referring to themselves as bitches and hoes, calling other females bitches. That's my bitch. And I don't subscribe to that formulary of how I address women. I've never been like bitch. Like, I don't think that's cool or whatever. And so it's not cool for you to have two sides of the coin when you think it's cute and cool to do these things, to quote this music, to dance to this music. And then when you want to feel all holy on a Sunday, because I feel like this post got dropped on a Sunday, when you want to feel all holy, it'd be like, they right though. They ain't nothing but some thugs with some dress clothes on or whatever, their Sunday best on. And shame on y'all for not allowing these men to live in their newness. And like, going back to Jay-Z again, like, Ultimate Growth was the album 444. He's talking about cheating and apologizing. He's being a man on that album, and to just take shots at him like that is unfair. You see pictures of him all the time being a great family man. He talks about things that goes on in the black community. He does a lot for the black community. And there again, like, if you're just out here talking out the side of your neck, you never know that. And Google is free, boys and girls. Google is free. And so I think I'm done dragging, but I feel like I had so much more to say. But y'all get the idea, you know, like, stop it. Stop pointing fingers at these people saying that they are the same. Like, you don't know them like that to say they are the same. And nobody really knows them except for the people that really knows them. But the evidence is there. The evidence is there. And it's just like, why can't we talk about drugs and all these different things just as long as you don't do them? There again, like I said, it's a form of expression, just like creating a movie or a TV show. Do we talk about these actors, like, and they're doing their job and they're acting like, just let it go. Let it go. Stop being a negative Nancy or a negative Nathaniel, and let these people live their lives. That's all I gotta say on that. A positive mind equals a positive life. When you let go of all the negativity, that is the ultimate glow up. It's time for the positivity moment of the show. Positivity moment. I know a lot of you that are single going into this week, you know, some of you people, you know, you're negative or whatever. Me, just another week, but Valentine's Day just happens to fall on this week coming up. And so, I just wanted to talk about love a little bit, and, you know, the show is going to be layered with a few, things I want to talk about in regards to love. And so I'm just going to ask the question, what is love to you? And for me, I'll go ahead and explain it because, you know, I'm the one with the mic, so I got to explain it to y'all. Love to me is not hard to a certain degree, and I'll try to explain quickly. Love is something that, yeah, sometimes you have to put in a lot of work for it to work if the person is worth it. I feel like love is something you just know when it happens. And I think that's something that I'm waiting on. I feel like, I think we run around saying, I love you, sometimes too quickly, and definitely sometimes to the wrong person. But I think that provides us with a learning curve to get to our final destination of what that love is when you meet that person, you know something special about that person, or when you first say I love you. I like in a man, and and love to me is someone that's godly, someone that's honest, loyal. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Loyalty is so big to me. And I think like a lot of people run around talking about loyalty and stuff like it's cute and stuff, the same way they talk about love. And it's something that it's very, very hard to find true loyalty. Love to me is caring for that person when they're sick, when they're not sick, wanting the best for their life and wanting the best for the people in their lives. Like if they got kids and stuff, like you care about their kids too. Anything that's an extension of the person you're dealing with, things that are important to them should be important to you. And time is a part of love to me. Like I feel like love is a circle of all these things, and I'm definitely excited to feel that, and not to take anything away from, really, it's been two people I truly like, I feel like I've love, and it doesn't take anything away from them, but it's just learning curves and just knowing what didn't work in that situation, what I want to have in my life in the future. And so something else I came across on Instagram, I love being on Instagram and Twitter to find my stuff. It was a post about love versus lust, and this came from one of my Instagram buddies, Point Reason. And basically, let's just go through it really quickly. Love, okay, gives, waits, respects. That's another thing. Being respectful is so key, and dating is so hard now because everybody just wants everything instantly, and it annoys me so much. And that's another reason why I'm not dating this year. I don't really want to date unless someone just comes in my path and I feel like it's right. No more, online dating. Like, I don't want to do that. The world is too crazy. Like, I just want it to naturally happen. And, y'all, I don't go out like that, so I don't know how it's going to happen. But, yeah. So, yeah, going back to that, and it's just so annoying when guys are just, like, ready to have sex day one, ready to meet you day one, and all this stuff. And it's just like, can we wait a minute? And the most annoying thing to most females is, send me a picture, send me a video, all that stuff. Like, it's so annoying. And that's why another reason why I don't like online dating, because I just feel like it's a meat market and you're out here like just showing yourself to get attention. And yeah, I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah, forgives, unselfish. Oh my gosh. Yes. Generous, protects, faithful. Hallelujah. And upholds. And I take that to mean you need to keep your word. And then lust, takes away, impatient, violates, condemns, self-centered, greedy, Lord Jesus, endangers, Lord Jesus, disloyal, Lord God, abandons, oh my God. That's how I felt in my last relationship. Definitely felt abandoned in that relationship, and I definitely feel like those traits are pretty much spot on for me. But there again, like, love and lust means different things to different people. Lust for me is definitely like seeing a man like, oh my gosh, I wonder what he's like in bed. You see a man that's just well put together, smells good, you just thinking about sexual things. Like, that's the biggest thing for me as far as lust, where the relationship or the getting to know each other part is just centered around feeling good. And that's just simple. Love is definitely more, takes time. And let me go back. It doesn't always take a lot of time. And because you just see different relationships, how they've manifest. And it's not always the same textbook answer on how you get to the love. And so let me take that back. I feel like it's just a feeling that and I, like I said, I haven't felt that, where I just know this is the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life type of thing. And so yeah, do you agree, disagree? Let me know. You know how to hit me up, email, DM, however you want to talk to me, and let me know. So, what's popping, y'all? I feel like there was a lot of stuff going on in these streets. But of course, a lot of people that look like me are definitely hyped for Black Panther dropping next week. The Black Panther album is already here. And I want to play my favorite song from the album just to set the mood for talking about Black Panther a little bit. And of course, looking at my playlist. Okay, I found it. And so my favorite song off of the soundtrack is King's Dead. And I just like this song because, number one, I love when people are just rapping their ass off. And I feel like they are rapping their ass off. I feel like the beat is fire. And yeah, I think this is the best song to me off of the soundtrack. So I'm going to play a little bit of the song.
Miss me with that bullshit. You ain't really wild, you a tourist. I be blacking out with the purist. I paid 100,000, I freaked it. I paid 500,000, I freaked it. I bought an 87 for the weekend. This ain't what you want, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want, this ain't what you want.
And it's like that little bitch. MVP, I don't get no sleep, no, I don't like that little bitch. Bust that open.
Yeah, so that was a good 30 seconds of King's Dead with J-Rock, Kendrick Lamar, and Future. And so, who else? Is there anyone else on here? Am I missing someone else? So, if you haven't, why is it doing that? Why did it turn pink? Oh, well, I won't worry about that now. But yeah, that's my favorite song off of the soundtrack. The soundtrack dropped yesterday. It's also going to be some physical copies that come out. Those are going to drop next week, I believe. So if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, check that out. If I remember to do, I'm going to put a link of the song on the podcast note so you can listen to that. Black Panther movie. So we've been preparing for this for a long time. If you're a Marvel head, you've been preparing for this even longer than non-Marvel people out there. And so the movie comes out next week, and I'm definitely excited about it. But my thoughts, I think with so many people going to see this movie that are not really in the Marvel world, I think, like, I'm not going to go see it the first week it comes out. I think I'm going to go see it probably like the week after next and try to let everyone get, tired of it a little bit. And then I'm going to go see it so I can just fully enjoy it, because this is going to be a good year for comic book movies and stuff like that. And so definitely excited for the movie. Album is great. And so, yeah, let me know if you're going to see it. Don't tell me about it. Stay out of my mentions when you go see the movie. And I know it's going to be good, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm just not going to go see it the first week it comes out. Bruno Mars. He wants to tour again for his recent album, but he wants to add Cardi B to the tour. And I think this would be a good idea for both of them. Like, I know she's on tour right now with someone else, I believe. But if they could line up a good tour together, I would definitely want to go see both of them. I didn't get a chance to see Bruno Mars the last time he was in Houston. I feel like he was here for like 2 days. And yeah, I just didn't get my life together to go see that. Also, in regards to Bruno Mars, in regards to the next Super Bowl that's going to be in Atlanta, he feels like the halftime show should be dedicated to hip hop music. And I don't think that's a bad idea. He says he doesn't want to really participate in it. He would, he could put it together. And I think he has that musical ear to where he would do it right. And I know a lot of y'all probably going to come for me when I say this, but I would love to see T.I. kind of set the tone for that show. And I know it sounds crazy, but I would like to see him start the set with I'm Illy. And I know I'm being biased because it's like my favorite T.I. song ever. And yeah, I think I would definitely like to see T.I. 2 Chainz, like just a nice little, just a nice little group of rappers from Atlanta to set the tone. Well, I guess they want to expand more than just Atlanta, right? So who else would you add on the ticket? But I think like with the fact that it's going to be in Atlanta, like just let it be Atlanta rappers. Like let them have that. Something that I saw in these streets that made me a little bit mad as a person that still likes to buy CDs when I feel like it's going to be a classic album. Some stores are doing away with letting you purchase CDs, and it makes me so sad. And I know we're in an era where all we do is like to get stuff right now, so we stream music and everything, but Best Buy is the first one up on the docket as far as getting rid of CDs, and then Target may follow. And so it just makes me sad because, you know, what if you want to have a CD so you can just have that packaging? And, you know, I'm that type of person, like when I'm going through music and stuff, I read the music notes. I want to see what samples were used. I want to see who produced the song. I want to see the thank you notes. Like I used to sit there and read the thank you notes whenever I would buy a CD because I just wanted to see, you know, who are they thanking and stuff. And so I was weird like that. And so I don't want that taken away from me. I still want the option to be able to go in a store and buy the album. Something like the Black Panther album. I'm happy they're still cranking out CDs for that. But it's such a good album. You want to go buy it, you know? Good Kid, Mad City. I have that CD because it's a classic. And people still have CD players in their cars. Not everyone has audio jack or whatever for your auxiliary cord, and I do. Let me just make sure that's clear so I don't think I'm just rolling around in a bucket or something. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's just like me with vinyl. I started a vinyl collection even though it's still small. I love the sound of vinyl. I'm not saying I love the sound of CD because it's not like crazy or anything, but just having that option. I still have like a ton of CDs that I have, and it just, you know, music takes up space on your phone, on your whatever you're using to listen to music. It takes up space if you're actually still making the purchases on these different sites or whatever, or platforms to get your music. It takes up space. So Black History Month, this is a Black classic movie. February the 19th will mark the 30th year anniversary can't talk, of School Days. And if you don't know School Days, this is a classic movie done by, I can see his face, but what is his name? Spike Lee. Oh my gosh, I hate when I just go blank like that. But this is favorite movies from him, and it just makes me feel old. 30 years ago. Like, and I've loved this movie for years on top of years. So that's really cool and dope. And I just have a question. Why do people keep signing to Cash Money, Young Money? Why? I don't think I would trust anyone at that label with my career, whether small or big. And I know they still have all the big acts over there, but they also have a laundry list of acts on their roster that they never get released. We never hear anything about these people. We just know that they're there. So it's just like, why would you go over there? Why? Can someone please explain that to me? Because I don't get it. Another post that I saw on the internet that started a big debate was, who is the greatest hip hop group of all time? And I thought, of course, this is a great debate to get in on. And these are the choices that you have on the post. Wu-Tang, G Unit, D Block, NWA, Outkast, Migos, Diplomats, 3-6 Mafia, Tribe Called Quest. And for me, it's so easy for me to pick the one that I'm going to pick, but I feel like we're missing one. And I thought maybe, okay, they left them off because they are a duo, but Outkast is a duo. And I feel like they left Goody Mob off of this list and UGK off of this list. And, there again, let me go with what I have. And so for me, it's going to be Outkast. And then I feel like, there again, for me, NWA is like just iconic group to me. I feel like Migos shouldn't even be on this list. I feel like Migos is definitely doing stuff for their time. They're breaking records. So maybe I should step back and say they should be on the list. But I guess there again, with the type of hip hop that I like, it doesn't work for me. And I don't want to take anything away from those guys, because I know a lot of people like them and I like some of their songs too. But I feel like Outkast and NWA is the total picture. I feel like A Tribe Called Quest is definitely iconic. Wu-Tang is not the kind of hip hop that I like. G-Unit was a movement, but everybody wasn't rapping like that. Can't compare them to Outkast. Diplomats, there again, was a movement. And yeah, so that's my take on that. I just feel like a lot of people get up in arms about, there again, it's still the debate of old school, new school when you just come down to it. And I think we gotta get rid of that to a certain degree, but will we ever? That is the biggest question. So we gotta talk about sports. I feel like a lot of stuff happened this week. A lot of stuff that basically I can't believe it was going down. And because of that, the first team I gotta talk about are the Cavs. And it's just... I'm sorry, I was reading a text message from my best friend and he is so messy. It gets on my nerves. So I'm going to have to get with him later after I finish. But the Cavs. So basically they gave up their whole fucking squad and all we got left is LeBron and Tristan Thompson. I joke. But really, like, they gave up Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, Schubert, I can never say that man's name. Schnuppert, you know what I'm talking about. Dwayne Wade went back to Miami. Jay Crowder, another of my faves, Derrick Rose. And I kind of just feel like maybe Derrick Rose should have just retired when he was pondering, if he was coming back to the Cavs when he took that little break. And a protected first rounder. And so with them sending a busload of people to, I guess they all went to the Lakers. I don't think that's possible. I don't know where all these people ended up, but they left. Okay. And so the Cavs, they got Jordan Clarkson, which I like him. Larry Nance, George Hill, which I like him. Rodney Hood, I like him. And protected second rounder. And so my question is this, like, what is the end game for the Cavs? Like, are they positioning themselves to build a better team for LeBron, or are they positioning themselves to build a better team with LeBron leaving, possibly? What is the end game? Does anyone know the end game? What do y'all think? I really don't know what to think, because I just feel like Isaiah Thomas, I feel like they should have kept Isaiah Thomas, but I think they want to get rid of Isaiah Thomas because they just never felt good about the deal because he was injured coming over. And like I said before, people lost their jobs in Boston behind the Isaiah Thomas trade, because you have to be mad at yourself looking at how good my boy Kyrie is doing in Boston. You have to feel away. You have to know that you messed up somehow. And really, like, if they knew that LeBron had any, inkling of wanting to leave, They should have just kept Kyrie and built a team around Kyrie. But everybody wanted to build a team around LeBron and all this stuff. So they brought all these people thinking it's going to be lit. And these people not getting along. Boston is the number 1 seed. Boston is going to win the East. And it's going to be, Boston and someone else. I'm not going to give my prediction again. I'm just going to keep putting it into existence somewhere else. And so with that, I like to give an update on the NBA. But before I do that, of course, I got to talk about my Rockets. We moved up to the number 1 spot in the power rankings, which it means nothing because there again, it is not the official rankings. Clint Capella had an amazing game last night against Denver. He had a season high game with points and is it blocks or assists? It's something crazy he did last night. James Harden was named Western Conference Player of the Week. He also scored 15 plus thousand points, career points and everything. And then also he has more 40-point games than anyone in the NBA since he entered the league in 2009. And so for all those still hating on James Harden, just stop it. He's going to be MVP this season. That is locked in. And if it don't happen, I'm going to be so mad. I promise you that. I would be so mad if he doesn't win MVP. We're going to get to the Western Conference Finals. And it's going to be a good year for my Rockets. And I'm just excited to see where we're going to go this season. So, update on the NBA in the West. Warriors number 1, Rockets number 2, Spurs number 3, Timberwolves number 4. And I had a conversation with my best friend, and I definitely feel like you need to look out for the Timberwolves. You definitely need to look out for them. I always say the playoffs is a different animal. People are just waiting to punch their ticket to get to the big dance. And so you're supposed to play at an elevated, rate of play. It's supposed to be a different level of play when you get to the playoffs to where no one can really predict how it's going to happen. Trailblazers, number 5. Thunder, number 6. Clippers, they moved up to the 7th spot. And the Nuggets moved up to the 8th spot. So the Pelicans, they dropped out of the top 8. And I think most people expected that with the DeMarcus Cousins being injured and speedy recovery to him. On the East, I didn't know that the Raptors, they moved up to the number 1 spot. Jesus, a quiet number 1. Boston, I gotta move back up. Boston is number 2, Cavs number 3, Wizards number 4, Bucks 5, Pacers 6th spot, Heat 7. And I think you definitely have to put the Heat in the conversation, and definitely with Dwayne Wade going back to Miami. He's happy to be in Miami, and I definitely think it's an added bonus for Miami. 76ers 8th spot. So I think any way you slice it, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And so with that, I want to just quickly talk about the Super Bowl. I actually watched this. As most of y'all know, I pretty much boycotted the NFL for most of the season. I watched two games this season, New England and Jacksonville, and then of course the Super Bowl, because it was just a good matchup there again. Philly and New England. Philly took home the trophy, and it was just good to just see someone just knock New England out of there. And it, it sounds like a hater type of statement, but fuck it, I'm rolling with it. That means there's hope for other teams, I think NFL and NBA, we get in this mentality where we feel like it's always going to be the same matchup, and it's always going to be one constant team for the most part, at least for the past few years. And I love when I see the narrative change, and to just see how Philly, they just stayed with it. They could have almost lost it, but they stayed the course, and New England just made couple of mistakes at the end, and you could just tell they were just out of steam to just pull it together. And so that's my only take on the Super Bowl. Hopefully next season I will fully participate in watching the NFL, hopefully. And then hopefully my Texans will be better. We'll get our quarterback back that was doing well, as I was seeing from the updates, until he got injured. And so maybe it'll be a different story for the Texans. Like, I mean, we got to get a Super Bowl here in Houston. I mean, a Super Bowl win in Houston. And it's time, just like it's time for my Rockets to get another championship, minus LeBron, as I talked about on the last podcast. So, yeah. In a while, and what's on your playlist? And that's what I'm talking about in this segment. And I have a special surprise to y'all, something I fully already committed to because it's already done. So just look for it on Instagram, Facebook. That's mostly family and friends on Facebook, and Twitter. I will release the information for the Valentine's Day playlist that I have put together. And it's not just recent music. It's a good mixture of new, old, and classic stuff. And so I always say this to people when I let y'all into my world as far as music, because I feel like music is like my heartbeat. And so this playlist is going to be the second playlist I've put together since I've been doing this podcast. But I do playlists all the time. And I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize in advance. This playlist is only going to be on Apple Music. And so if you don't have Apple Music, you won't be able to listen to this playlist. And I'm so sorry. And so just to kind of give like a little spoiler as to the kind of stuff I have on here, I have a few songs from Daniel Caesar. I have a classic song, I feel, from Bobby Valentino, that is. And I have, upbeat songs, and of course just the typical straight to the room type of songs and stuff. So that's why I said it's a good mixture of a lot of good songs. And I feel like the best way to listen to any playlist that I'm starting to present to you as of lately is listen to the playlist on shuffle. Because if you just listen to it just straight down, if I just mentally said I wanted to put Daniel Caesar on there, then you're going to get like 5 Daniel Caesar songs in a row possibly. Okay. So that's why I just put it on shuffle, and the list is growing every day, and I listen to it every day to see if it's really good, because I take pride in putting together playlists. I have like so many playlists put together that are just private from me. And so, yeah. Also talking about playlists, Apple Music, I have to put you on Front Street a little bit. In regards to the Black History Month playlist you put together. First, I would like to know who put it together. And secondly, who thought it was okay to basically start the playlist off with, as they are called, Negro spirituals. And the first song on the list is Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And so that's the vibe, song 1, and it goes basically what they think our music history is. And so it goes from that kind of music into hip hop, R&B, jazz, blues, like it goes. So just, if you have Apple Music, just take a look at the Black History Month playlist and just tell me your true feelings behind the playlist. And maybe I'm just being picky and crazy or overly sensitive or something, and I'll own that. But I just feel like, hey, come on now. Top five. Segment I haven't done in a while. Top five. Haven't done it in a while, y'all. And this one's going to be a little bit funny. Top 5 things to do when you're single for Valentine's Day. Number 5, mind your business. Number 4, mind your business. Number 3, mind your business. Number 2, mind your business. And number 1, mind your God-given business. And, you know, I see a lot of people getting their feelings and stuff about Valentine's Day. And I think there again, since I'm just on a different page as far as like relationships and dating, there again, I don't care. It's another day or whatever. And there again, also I'm a person that loves love. And so I like to see people in love and having a great special day. But also I'm the type of person like, don't take one day to just do something crazy for me. And don't take this day to propose to me. Like whenever that day comes, like don't propose to me on Valentine's Day. Don't propose to me on Christmas, even though it's my birthday. Propose to me at a Rockets game and I'll love you for the rest of my life. And that's just real. Like do me like that. Like, so that's something I'll put in the atmosphere. I want to be proposed to at a Rockets game. But no, like real talk, like don't get down in the dumps because you don't have someone. Like whenever you're single, take the time to better yourself. So whenever that person comes along, you are your best version of yourself and everything will just go better. We must empower ourselves. We must empower ourselves with knowledge. We can't be afraid of knowledge. Knowledge is free. Knowledge will always be here. We have to know where we came from so we can stand firmly in where we are going and have the boldest confidence. Dropping jewels. This is going to be really personal. And I'm just going to give out some stuff like that. There again, I'm speaking on stuff that I've been seeing on my timeline. And I feel like it's not going away. And so that's just what it is. And so just some jewels on honesty and loyalty. I talked about loyalty earlier. And for me, there again, I never understand why it's so hard to tell the truth and stop telling lies. Like it's just not cool. It's not cool to lie about who you are. It's not cool to lie to people about anything. Like people say, oh, I didn't want to lie to you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. What people fail to realize, that table will eventually turn and the truth will be revealed no matter what. No matter if you do it or someone else tells the truth for you, the truth is going to come out. And I just feel like if you're working in a space of being a grown ass person, you should tell the truth. And no, this is not a read about anyone in particular because my life is fine because I'm not dealing with anyone. So I don't have to deal with this. But it bothers my soul to just see so many people or hear about so many people just dealing with shenanigans they shouldn't be dealing with. And loyalty. Why is it so hard to be loyal to people? You know, it feels like people are more loyal to either having an iPhone or Android than they are to actual people. And it's crazy. And this is in friendships and relationships or whatever. Like, people need to be more loyal in 2018. People should want that to be like their number one goal, to be loyal and to be honest. And I just feel like those things go hand in hand. And if you're out here living your best life, those things should be easy. And so, yeah. And then this is something else that you constantly see, and no matter where you work or if you have your own business or whatever, I want to drop some jewels on being a true leader. I think I'm a good leader whenever I'm put in the position to lead. You never have to step on anyone, throw dirt on anyone to be someone great and for people to recognize the greatness in you. You don't have to be mean to people to be great. I feel like being a great leader is like being a Christian. You don't have to go around announcing that you're a Christian. I'm a Christian. I love God. I love God all day, every day. I'm blessed all day, every day. You don't have to go around announcing that you're a good leader. Your good work, it shows for yourself. Like when you just walk in a room, people just know you're a boss. And when you deal with people, being that leader or that boss or whatever that title you want to give for that frame, you don't have to be stuck up about it. You don't like I said, there again, like a lot of people will throw dirt on people just to move up the ladder. If it's for you, it's for you. You see how that correlates? Like that Christian life, like that's something we definitely believe in. If it's for you, it's for you, and no one can mess it up. Same thing with being a leader. If it's for you, it's for you. I just think like if people just take the edge off a little bit, people can get along better, and we have more peace, you know? Like I'm the type of person, like I love peace. I'm all about positivity and everything, which y'all know if you've been listening to this podcast forever and a day. Like that stuff is important to me. And when all that stuff is out of line and out of sync, it triggers my soul being bothered, whether I'm seeing it in real life or on my timeline. Like you don't have to be a hater, a consistent hater to, you know, to get to the top. And so I just wanted to make sure I said that, because, you know, people out here just doing the most, and you don't got to do the most to be the best in anything. Your competition is always with yourself. And that's how I always feel with this podcast. I have a goal of what I want to be as far as like with this podcast based on the podcast I listen to. But I don't consider myself to be in competition with anyone but myself. And I'm in competition with myself to be better, to do better topics, to still speak better and still not be nervous and stutter and all that stuff. Like those are the kind of goals that I have, to be more present on social media still, because I get in these funks to where I'm just busy working, but I never stop thinking of ideas that I want to do for this podcast and everything, but it just doesn't translate all the way over to social media to where I have a true interaction with y'all. And so be your own competition. And if you're in that lane just focusing on you, you don't have time to throw dirt on people. You don't have time to talk about people. You don't have time to try to just, you know, do whatever to get to the top. Like, just to stop that. Let's have a peaceful 2018. And with that, I'm officially done with this episode. I hope that y'all truly will enjoy this episode. And there again, I'm sorry I'm not being consistent with dropping on Fridays. But like I said, this has been a hellish work week. And so you're still getting it before a new week, you know. So this is still one in the books, y'all. But I still will constantly try to do better. Follow me on social media. Instagram, OhYouThoughtFallon. You spell my name Fallon. Twitter, Pretty and Smart 81. That's pretty, the letter N, Smart 81. Go to my website, OhYouThoughtFallon.com. You can listen to my practice episodes from almost 2 years ago now, I guess. It feels like 2 years ago. A year ago? No, it has to be 2 years ago. At the end of 2016, I started doing them. Yeah. So yeah, you can listen to all episodes. New episodes are there too. Subscribe via iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play, other formats. I'm going to keep speaking this to existence. I'm coming for Tidal, and I'm coming for Spotify. Those are the next two major platforms I want to get on. So I'm speaking it to existence. Also, email me. Questions, thoughts, whatever. You need advice. You want me to read your email on air. OhYouThoughtFallon@gmail.com. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all next week. Until next time, remember to glow up, bless up, stay prayed up, and hold it down.
Hold it down. Hold it down. We gon' hold it down. We gon' hold it down.